It is true that there might be as many types of interview questions categorized as there are professional experts who teach and train in the world of interviewing. However, from my experience, there are three primary types of interview questions that must be used appropriately when structuring a quality interview: experience, self-evaluation, and behavioral interview questions. Let's take a look. First, experience-based questions confirm a candidate's credentials and achievements. A common way to open an interview, you might ask a candidate to describe their education and experience, especially introducing their professional achievements. Experience-based questions help ease the candidate into the interview and provide a good overview of what the candidate has done in the past. One of the disadvantages of these types of questions is that they don't give much information on how well the applicant actually performed those tasks they're describing. Experience-based questions might include: how much supervisory experience do you have? What special recognition have you received? What size budget do you manage? On the plus side, experience questions put the candidate at ease at the start of the interview and provide an overview of what the candidate has done in the past. They're easy questions for a candidate to ease into the interview experience. On the negative side, a disadvantage of experience questions are that they don't give the information on how well the applicant actually performed the tasks you're talking about. Secondly, self-evaluation questions provide information on what the candidate thinks, feels, or hypothesizes about a particular topic or his or her own skill set. These questions are great at letting you know what the application thinks is important. However, self-evaluation questions do not provide any type of evidence on what the candidate has actually done and encourages the application to say what they feel the interview wants to hear. Some examples of self-evaluation questions might include: what do you consider your strengths and weaknesses? How do you rate your effectiveness in interpersonal relationships? What do you like best about your job? Or what would you do if? In the pro column, self-evaluation questions provide information about what the applicant thinks is important. Disadvantages include self-evaluation questions can invite the candidate to say what the interviewers want to hear, and self-evaluation questions don't provide any evidence of what the candidate has actually done. Third and finally, behaviorally based questions focus on relating past job performance to probable future on-the-job behavior. The questions are based on information relevant to job-specific related skills, abilities, and traits. The answers reveal the likelihood of similar future performance. This process works because past behavior is shown to be an indicator of future behavior. But be careful not to translate this statement as reading "past behavior predicts future behavior" or "future behavior is the same as past behavior." Proponents of the competency-based approach to employment interviewing plainly point out that past behavior is an indicator only. No one can predict the absolute certainty of how someone will behave on the job. The benefits of behaviorally based interview questions are almost limitless. Let's take a look at a couple of primary advantages. First, behaviorally based questions provide clues to the knowledge the credentials of a candidate indicate, and they avoid non-measurable information in the interview process. Disadvantages include behaviorally based questions requiring more preparation and knowledge of the subject matter and the job. Although you can find much more information on behaviorally based interview questions in my presentation, Behaviorally Based Interview Questions, let's take a look at the basics for writing great behaviorally based questions. Hiring managers should aim to develop a good portion of their questions using the behaviorally based model. These types of questions will help you more accurately evaluate candidates, as we've discussed. Again, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior that was similar in circumstances, recent, and long-standing. To write behaviorally based questions in a way that will give you the best information and the best indicators, write questions that are job-related, open-ended, focused on a specific event or experience, and require examples of past behavior. To craft a competency-based interview question, use the SBO formula. Refer to the essential duties and responsibilities in the position's job description. Each element of the formula, situation, behavior, and outcome, are brought together to craft a single competency-based question. Start each question with a phrase related to a specific occurrence, such as, "Tell me about a time when," "Describe for me a situation in which," "Think of a recent example of," or "Tell me about an example of." Your goal is to write a question that elicits a complete answer, including the applicant's behavior in a similar situation. Specifically, what did the applicant say or do? And the outcome. What was the result of the applicant's behavior? Keep these elements in the forefront of your mind when crafting great behaviorally based questions. Some examples of behaviorally based questions might include, when was the last time you made a difficult decision or solved a difficult problem that had a wide-ranging impact? Describe for me a situation in which you were the most effective in achieving a very aggressive goal. Or tell me about your most recent work project that required your most independent initiative. Now that you have an idea of these 3 types of interview questions, go out and craft great, structured interviews using a pattern model that addresses experience, self-evaluation, and behaviorally based questions to deliver the best possible results.